Hello students. Last time we already considered Rutherford atomic model and Bohr atomic model for studying the structure of atom. Today we are going to discuss about the atomic spectra, its type, emission spectra, absorption spectra, and uses of atomic spectra. And one more point, classical planetary model of hydrogen atom. Okay, the first point, what is meant by the atomic spectra? For understanding the structure of atom or molecule present in the source of light, the study of spectra is very important concept. We know that condensed matter like solids or liquids emits radiation for all temperatures, and in such radiation all wavelengths are present. But in case of atom or molecules, or we may be considered that is a gas, and within that gas atom or molecules are present. What will happen about the atom or molecules? During collision, the interaction between the atom or interaction between the molecule takes place, and they cannot emit any radiation. But when this gas contains atom or molecule, when it is excited, by different ways, by increasing the temperature of the gas, by passing the electric current through the gas, or by electric discharge. And when we consider such excited gas, at that time it emits a radiation, electromagnetic radiation. And when such radiations, they pass through the prism. Means suppose this is actually the radiation, and that radiations are passed through the prism. What will happen? We get a different lines or colors, and that different lines or colors that of specific frequency or specific wavelength, and if that spectrum obtained, that is of specific wavelength or for specific colors, that spectrum we call it as an atomic spectrum. It means that atomic spectrum is related to the gas in which the atoms are present. It means that when the atoms are excited or de-excited, At that time it emits a radiation, and in that radiation when passed through the prism, we get a different lines or colors. But these colors and different lines that of fixed frequency or fixed wavelength, and such spectrum we call it as an atomic spectrum. Second thing you remember that atomic spectrum obtained here when the gas is in excited state. Atomic spectrum can be obtained by de-exciting the gas. And for each and every element of the atoms, this atomic spectrum is unique. It means that if the nature of the gas is changed here, spectrum is changed. It means that for each and every element, the atomic spectrum is unique, just like each person's that having a unique fingerprint. And that atomic spectrum we also called as a fingerprint. The next point, what about the different types of spectra? Basically, there are three types of spectrum. The first one, continuous spectrum. Second one, band spectrum. And third one, line spectrum. These are actually the three types of atomic spectra. General types of the spectra: continuous, band and line spectra. First one, continuous spectrum. For continuous spectrum point of view, when we consider a light from the sun, that is a white light. And when this white light is passed through the prism, we get a spectrum on the screen. This spectrum contains different color, that is from violet to red. But you remember that here is actually, suppose this is a violet color, again there is the next color, again there is a next color. There is no any gap between these colors. Means one color is merged into the another. And that's why we call it as a continuous spectrum. Simple. Instead of that is white light, we may be consider that is actually the incandescent lamp or hot air. They also give actually the continuous spectrum. When the continuous spectrum is obtained, when the substance is heated to a very high temperature, at that time it gives a continuous spectrum. For all types of source of light, continuous spectrum is same. Then what is the difference? When we change the source of light, all colors are there, but what is the change? Change is only in the intensity of that spectrum. Intensity change. If the source of light is changed, the intensity of that spectrum is changed. Second thing you remember that band spectrum. Band spectrum, it is also called molecular spectrum, because when the material is in molecular state and spectrum obtained from that material that we call it as a band spectrum. Molecule, for example, H2O. When that H2O is heated moderately, the spectrum obtained from this, that we call it as a band spectrum. It is also called a molecular spectrum. But you remember that in band spectrum there is a band. There is a first band, there is a second band, but you remember that there is a gap between these two bands. Again you remember that the band at the one edge, it is sharp, but at the other end, it is indistinguishable. And within the one band, number of lines are there, no doubt. But that lines are separated at the one end. And that end we call it as a bright end or bright edge. But at the other end, the intensity of that lines goes on decreasing and it is indistinguishable. Or remember only about the band spectrum. Band spectrum obtained when the substance is in molecular state or when liquids or gases moderately heated, they give actually the band spectrum. The second one, that is the line spectrum. When the substance or material is in atomic state. And when the substance is in atomic state, it gives a spectrum, and that spectrum contains lines of fixed frequency. These are actually the lines that is of fixed frequency. And that spectrum, we call it as a line spectrum. Such spectrum can be obtained by exciting the gas or by de-exciting the gas. The next point you remember that in our syllabus, basically the two types of spectrum, emission spectrum and absorption spectrum. Before studying what is meant by the emission spectrum and what is meant by the absorption spectrum, first we consider, suppose this is a white light. White light. And that white light, when it is incident, that is only prism. And when that white light passes through this prism, and when the spectrum is observed, that is on a screen, that spectrum is continuous. Continuous spectrum ranging from violet to red. This is a continuous spectrum and that contains all colors, that is from violet to red. Continuous spectrum. We all are familiar with this continuous spectrum. But what is mean by the emission spectrum? Emission spectrum. When we consider, suppose air is a hot gas. Within that gas, number of atoms are there. We are familiar with, within that atom, air is a nucleus, and surrounding the nucleus, electrons are revolving in different orbits. Revolving in different orbits. Hot gas, it means that it is in excited state. Gas can be excited by different techniques, by discharge of electricity, by increasing the temperature, or in short, by supplying external energy to that material. At that time, what will happen? The number of electrons in ground state, they are already in excited state. Suppose these are actually the electrons, they are in different state. This is one more orbit, and within this orbit, suppose this is the electron. Hot gas atom, within that atom, the electrons are present and the electrons are in excited state. But electrons cannot remain in excited state for a long time. And its lifetime in excited state is very short. It is in terms of 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 9 second. Again, you remember that for this particular first orbit, energy level, suppose say E1, second orbit energy level is E2, third orbit energy level is E3, and fourth orbit energy level E4. Due to excitation, electron jumps to the higher orbit. But these electrons cannot remain there for a long time. It comes back to its ground state. And whenever the transition of electron takes place, suppose from this orbit to this orbit, suppose this is the electron, this is the transition takes place. Energy of the electron in this case is E2 and energy of the electron in this case is E1. Means the excess amount of energy of this electron, that must be equal to E2 minus E1. And that excess amount of energy of the electron, that must be equal to h mu. H is Planck constant, mu is actually the frequency of that emission or that radiation. It means that when electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it emits a radiation. And for that particular radiation, we get a one fixed line. This is a continuous spectrum for this particular. Suppose here is we get a fixed line. Again, suppose this another electron, it jumps from orbit third to orbit first. For that, again it emits a radiation. Its energy is E3 minus E1, that must be equal to h mu. This energy difference and this energy difference, suppose here is mu1, suppose here is a mu2. Frequencies are different. Means again, due to this radiation, we get another line. And in this way, if this electron again jumps from E4 to E2, and for this transition, again we get a line here. It means that is on a continuous spectrum. We get a bright lines of different color. It means that for this transition, we get a colored line. For this transition, we get a colored line. For this transition, we get a colored line. See here, when we use a white light, at that time we get a colored spectrum and it is continuous. But instead of white light, when we use a hot gas, means that gas is in excited state. At that time it emits the radiation, and that radiation contains a different colored line. But that colored lines are fixed for that particular gas or for that material. For each and every element, the lines are fixed. These lines are fixed, and such lines are obtained, or such spectrum is obtained, that we call it as a emission spectrum. It means that when electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it emits a radiation in the form of the photon, and that energy of the photon is h mu1, for that the frequency mu1, and at that time for that frequency we get a particular fixed colored line. This is actually the situation that is of emission spectrum. It means that emission spectrum is obtained when gas is already excited, and whenever the de-excitation of that gas or atoms, or we maybe call it as a electron, takes place, at that time it emits the radiation, and due to that radiation we get a spectrum lines, and in that spectrum we call it as emission spectrum. The second point, what is meant by the absorption spectrum? Absorption spectrum. For absorption spectrum point of view, suppose your white light is passed, incident on a prism, we get a continuous spectrum. And suppose here is the gas is placed, but that is actually the cool gas. Same gas, previously hot gas, and the same gas, it is in cool condition. When the gas is in cool condition, its meaning is that again within that number of gas contains the number of atoms, and for each atom at the center nucleus, surrounding the nucleus, these are actually the different orbits, and for if the gas is in cool condition, at that time its electrons, they are in ground state. Suppose the number of electrons here, and all these electrons, they are in ground state, and that ground state energy we call it as a E1. But when white light is passed, what will happen? Atom cannot only emit the radiation, but it also absorbs the radiation. But when it absorbs the radiation, when suppose this light means it contains the number of particles, and the single particle of that light we call it as a photon. It means that atom absorbs the photons. When the white light is incident, it contains number of photons, and if energy of the photon If it is equal to the difference of the energy of these two, or difference of the energy of these two, at that time that photon is absorbed. Otherwise that photon cannot be absorbed. Remember this, white light, in the path of white light cool gas is there. Gas contains the number of atoms, and one atom is considered at the center nucleus and electrons revolving in different orbit, but we assume electrons they are in ground state. And when the white light is incident on this gas, what will happen? White light contains all wavelengths, no doubt. But when this white light is incident, it contains the number of photon. Photon absorbed when that energy of the photon must be equal to the difference of these two energy, or difference of these two energy, or difference of these two energy. Then photon is absorbed. And when the photon energy must be equal to E is equal to h mu. And for that H, again C is equal to mu lambda, then mu is equal to C upon lambda. Therefore we write H mu is equal to, it is C is equal to mu lambda, then C upon lambda. C is equal to mu lambda, then mu is equal to C upon lambda. It means by H multiplied by C divided by lambda. Means for a single photon, fixed wavelength. Suppose that particular photon, here is the photon absorbed. Photon absorbed by the gas. What will happen when that photon is absorbed? That energy is absorbed by this electron. And due to this absorption of energy, that electron jumps to the next orbit. And the corresponding wavelength of that photon that is absent here, that is on a continuous spectrum. That is absent. And for that purpose, we get a dark line. Here is a dark line. If the another photon is absorbed, again here is we get a dark line. Again another photon is absorbed, again here is we get a dark line. Dark lines. It means that when light incident, some photons are absorbed. Those photons are absorbed, its corresponding wavelength or its corresponding color gets absorbed, and that lines cannot be appear, that is on a continuous spectrum. And for that position, we get a dark lines. And that such dark line togetherly form a spectrum, and that spectrum we call it as a absorption spectrum. It means that where the colored lines are observed when the gas is in hot condition. For this condition, these gas emits the photons. But in reverse case, when the gas is cool, same frequency or same wavelength photons are absorbed by it, and due to the absorption, here is the dark lines are observed. It means that emission spectrum and absorption spectrum are inverse or opposite to each other. This is about actually the emission spectra and absorption spectra. The next point, what are the uses of atomic spectra? I am already told each and every element that having a unique atomic spectrum. Just as every person has its own fingerprint, Then the first uses of atomic spectra to identify the elements in astronomical objects identify the elements of objects. What did it mean? Astronomical objects. It means that by measuring the spectrum of the object, it means that by measuring the spectrum of light from the object, distant object, and compare that spectrum with respect to the standard spectrum, astronomer easily find out what are the different elements are present within that star. Means what is the composition of it. In addition to the second use to determine velocities of galaxies. You already learned Doppler effect in case of sound. How the wavelength and frequency changes when the source of sound and observer, when they come close together towards each other, at that time wavelength decreases and frequency increases. Or when the source of sound move away from the observer, wavelength increases and frequency decreases. Similar concept here is the in case of light. When we consider a galaxy and suppose say Earth, when the galaxy moves towards the Earth, galaxy move towards the Earth, at that time what will happen? Distance between galaxy and Earth, that is, decreases. Distance between galaxy and Earth decreases. It means that spectrum obtained in this case, suppose this is actually the standard spectrum that contains the different lines. Air is a violet and suppose air is a red. This is actually the standard spectrum when the galaxy stationary. But when it moves towards the Earth, what will happen? Or towards us? Distance between them decreases. Its meaning is that wavelength decreases. And when the wavelength decreases, at that time, for such situation, spectrum is shifted towards the blue end. Air is a red and air is a violet because of decrease in wavelength. By measuring this shift, by which amount the spectrum is shifted, suppose this we call it as a delta lambda, shift del lambda, or we may be consider here for red, this is actually the del lambda. Remember, when galaxy move towards us or towards the Earth, at that time what will happen? The wavelength decreases and that shifts towards the violet end, or we may be call it as a blue end. Such shift we call it as a blue shift. And by measuring this shift, we can find the velocity of the galaxy. By using the formula, del lambda upon lambda is equal to V upon C. C is the speed of light, lambda is the wavelength, suppose this wavelength is considered, and del lambda is actually the change in wavelength. We can find the velocity of galaxy. The next use, we call it as a third one, to determine the temperature of the star surface. To determine temperature of star surface. This is third use. You remember that intensity of these lines obtained from that galaxy or any object, that depends upon the temperature. If the temperature of that object is changed, the intensity of that line is changed. And by analyzing the intensity of that line, we can determine the temperature of the star surface. In addition to this, to measure pressure of gas, these lines are observed from the object or from the gas. Width of this line, what about the width of this line? That depends upon the pressure of the gas. If the pressure is changed, the width of the lines is changed. And by analyzing these line width, again we can find the pressure of the gas. These all are actually the uses of atomic spectra. The last point, classical planetary model. Of hydrogen atom. In classical planetary model of hydrogen atom, in case of hydrogen, at the center nucleus and only one electron is present. Only one electron is there. Electrons revolves around the nucleus. In case of planetary model, air is a sun. Around the sun, planet is moving. You remember that? Means these two things are similar, but what is the difference? Planet revolves around the sun due to the gravitational force of attraction between the planet and the sun. In a similar manner, electron revolves around the nucleus due to the electrostatic force of attraction between the electron and nucleus. And due to this electrostatic force, this electron is revolving around the nucleus in circular orbit. This is simple, that is actually the planetary model concept. This is actually the similarity. This is all about the atomic spectra and planetary model of hydrogen atom. Next time we will see the Bohr's model for hydrogen atom. Okay, thank you.